Okay, so I'm excited about the comeback win from the Yankees last night against the Pirates. And they've had a couple more of these recently, but we can't depend on this. They've had an uncharacteristically bad season, and these are the types of things we can't depend on because we don't have enough personnel here to make any consistency out of it. So, and this is one reason why I think we need more contact hitters here who tend to slump less and for shorter periods of time. And guys, they're just overly reliant on home runs to complement this lineup. And I'll give you a couple perception points here, and this is for perspective purposes too. Like Garrett Cole has had 24 starts where he's allowed 2 runs or less this season alone. 24 starts, okay? That's the most in Major League Baseball. To add to it, 13 of those starts that were with 2 innings or fewer, and he's also pitched more than 5 innings in those starts. So, like, the bullpen is either not been able to hold a lead, right, or he's gone out with a with a 2-1 deficit or whatever, and our bats have not been able to tie the game or get ahead and all this other stuff too. So that's also the most in the MLB. So this is one reason why we need more contact hitting. We got to put our offense in a position to come in. If he leaves in the top of the inning, they're at home. They need to come into the bottom of the inning. If they're down 2-1, we need them to tie the game and take the lead. Okay, and if you take the lead, it puts them in a position for a win, or puts him in a position for a no decision, which is better than a loss. Now he's the front runner right now, deservedly so, for the Cy Young Award. And last night he went 5 innings, didn't have his best stuff, but he gave up 2 runs, and then the Yankees coughed that up. Their bullpen, Anthony Machado, got hit in the eye, which injured him, and then the Pirates took the lead. But the Yankees came back with 4 runs in the 9th and won the game 7-5. But that said, this is one reason why we need bats, and we need to consider guys like Nestor Cortes, who has been unable to stay healthy now. Maybe he's a good guy to transition into long relief as a transition piece from Garrett Cole or other starters to the short relievers. And maybe we need to add another reliable late-inning reliever too, because we need to preserve more leads for pitchers, not only Garrett Cole, but for the rest of our starters. Right? We need to hold leads, and we need to preserve leads, or keep them in the game so that the offense can do their job, which is one reason why we need more offensive pieces, guys that put the ball in play, so we can hand it over to the power guys like Aaron Judge and the rest of them, put them in a position to maybe drive in some more runs. So, let me know what you think about this. I mean, honestly, like, this is important stuff. And I mean, I don't only talk about baseball, like it's just, scores or breaking news. This is important conversation stuff too. And I want to know what you all think. Your insights are important. Your perspectives are important, which is why, I ask folks to subscribe to the channel. That one gesture right there, hitting that button, that subscribe button. And you can take part of the live streams. You can take part in everything. And you get all the breaking news as it comes in too. Whether it be breaking news, free agency, but you'll get that too. Every signing you're going to get. Okay, and anything else as it pertains to this or anything else that's Yankees or non-Yankees. Like for this morning, I put out a short. Shohei Ohtani came in and he cleaned out his locker. Out of nowhere. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's a scandal, but that's generally uncharacteristic, especially when he didn't tell anybody on the team. He's cleaned out his locker. So, does that mean he's going to go get Tommy John? I don't know. Because we haven't heard any confirmation on that, like we heard Jason Dominguez is going to get his Tommy John next Wednesday. But we're also hearing stuff that one of his teammates was playing around and farted in Ohtani's face, and Ohtani got really, really upset at that, and that could have been a trigger point too. We don't know. But there's so much speculation going around now. But the fact is, he cleaned out his locker this morning. So the chances of him being done with the Angels, whether it be Tommy John or some stunt like that, are pretty damn high. Next question is Trout going to be staying if Ohtani is leaving? That's another conversation piece we'll have at some point too. So, but this stuff is really interesting, and we're going to continue to talk about this. But the non-Yankee topic I wanted to talk about today is Fernando Tatis. Okay, I mean, this guy, obviously he's one of the young, dynamic superstar players, but he's had some mishaps. Okay, whether it be a motorcycle accident where he fractured his wrist or an 80-game ban for juicing. He's been transferred to the outfield since then, and it looks like he's done quite a bit of growing up, which is good. So, he's had some defensive problems as a shortstop, so they brought in Xander Bogaerts, who's now the starting shortstop on a huge contract. And now they brought him out to the outfield. He's playing right field mostly. But he's got, 23? I'm looking at 23 defensive run saves this year. He's turned into an elite defensive outfielder. Okay? But it looks like he has his head straightened out again. So, they're not having to worry about all these ridiculous problems with Tatis, which is a good thing. And maybe it's enough. We don't know, but is it enough to get Juan Soto to say, you know what, I'm going to stick around here. I want to play the next decade with Tatis and Bogaerts and everybody else. Is it enough? I don't know. But it's a good thing that even if Soto leaves, you have a much improved Fernando Tatis who's going to stay here for the next decade. He's on a $340 million deal. But as the 23 defensive run saves in the outfield, that's second in baseball. So looks like he's done some growing up. And he's had to. There's chatter about him, putting him on restricted list. There was chatter about him trading him. And I know that the Yankee fans were going nuts because putting him for the outfield and blah, blah, blah. So maybe this is what he needed. He wanted to stay in San Diego. Maybe he needs to grow up a little bit, right? And again, this is a player who's been here for a couple of years now. He's young, dynamic. He's got power. He's in the 95th percentile in terms of speed. So he's an elite athlete. And it's good to see him evolving from an immature player to a grown-up player now. And this is something that he needed to do in order to stay with the Padres or stay relevant and not turn into someone else, like some kind of knucklehead around baseball who we're talking about a couple of years from now is, that guy's just a waste of talent or he's an overpaid slug or whatever. At least this guy's putting it together with the bat, okay? He's not to the point where he was a couple of years ago when we had that 40 home run season. He's not there yet, but he's getting back. He's in the mid-20s for home runs. And home runs aren't the only metric either. He's doing the other things. He's putting the ball in play, and he's complementing it with elite defense in the outfield. So it's good to see Fernando Tatis grown up and maturing and becoming a positive part of the San Diego Padres.